Alright, what's going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? The ACMGS Gamer here. We are back at it again with some more Ghost of Tsushima news. Not anything gameplay-wise, but something that will definitely affect the gameplay that a lot of people don't think about, and that is the score of Tsushima, the soundtrack of Ghost of Tsushima. This article came out yesterday on July 2nd, and I didn't see it until today. So today we're basically just going to read through the article that gives us more insight into Ghost of Tsushima. Get the soundtrack digitally or as a 2-disc set on July 17th, which is only a few short days away. By, I'm assuming that's Reverend, I don't know, Dr. Bradley D. Meyer, audio director, Sucker Punch Productions. I don't know if that's Reverend or what REV stands for. Hey everyone, along with the rest of Sucker Punch, I am so thrilled that Ghost of Tsushima will be in your hands soon. A lot of people have been asking about the game's soundtrack, and it's something the whole studio is really excited to share. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the music, the composers, and the process of creating this amazing score. As is customary when we first started fleshing out the world of Ghost of Tsushima, we would pull temporary music from film, TV, and other games that inspired us and presented the feeling and tone we were after. There were two composers whose work really stood out and we kept coming back to as we fleshed out more of the world and the story. Ian Eshkari, I have no idea if I'm saying that right, I apologize, and Shigeru Umebayashi, I apologize. As we continued to move by their music during early development, we knew we wanted both of them to compose for Ghost. You may be wondering why we chose to have two composers score the game. First off, Ghost of Tsushima is big. There is a lot of content, and we knew we would need a lot of music to fill the world and support the evolution of Jin's journey from samurai to the ghost. Secondly, when done properly, having multiple voices sculpting the score, we can weave a more diverse and elaborate musical tapestry for the game's story and action to sit upon. Ilan, and both brought something very special to the score that we used to craft the emotional backbone of the entire world, from the story to combat to exploring the island. In our very first prototype, we created a small mission where you got on a horse, rode across a scenic expanse, and fought a Mongol warlord inside a Japanese fort. We used a track from one of Ilan's film scores for the horse ride section, and the entire studio reacted to it electrically. This relatively mundane action took on an epic emotional quality in large part due to this beautiful piece of music. He has written scores for movies including Coriolanus, 47 Ronin, and Stardust, video games like the Sims franchise, and other cool projects including the European Space Agency's Principia mission. The thing that struck us about his music was its strong melodic content and often unique instrumentation choices. We knew our score had to be heavily melodic or melodic and emotional to properly convey the story of Jin Sakai and the people of Tsushima, so Ilan seemed like a natural fit. We asked him to focus on crafting the character melodies and themes, and he immediately immersed himself in the traditional Japanese instruments and music scales. To tell you more about his music, we wanted to invite him to share some words about his creative process in composing for Ghost. So these are his words. From the first moment of the first meeting, I realized that Ghost was about a very powerful emotional journey. The team at Sucker Punch and PlayStation were inspiring and generous with their creativity, so I immediately knew that I was going to love working on the game. Jin's theme, The Way of the Ghost, was one of the very first pieces I wrote. Usually productions are ready for music after everyone else has been working on the game. As much as you might understand the story, it always takes time to really get under the skin and appreciate the depth of well-written characters and story. While some of my first sketches evolved, this theme really stuck. It's all about how the people of Tsushima see him. He's their hero, strong, invaluable, inspiring, and full of hope. But what really fascinated me about Jin is the contrast of what is going on inside of him. In order to save his home and the people he loves, he must go against everything he was taught to believe in and break the code of the samurai. Throughout the game, Jin is a character in deep emotional conflict, and this above all else is what drew me to Ghost. The historical setting is fascinating. I began to study ancient Japanese music, folk songs, court music, sacred music, and taiko, I'm assuming, as well as different pentatonic scales used in Japanese music. It is a very rich world full of a lifetime's worth of exploration. In the game's score, I used, I don't even want to pronounce that, uh, shamisen, taiko drums, and chants. And my favorite discovery, biwa. The biwa, or biwa, is an instrument that samurai used to play in the art that was almost lost. There are now only a few players in the world. Luckily, I was able to find one of them to play on Ghost. It's really special sound, and you can hear it on the heart of the Ito, or Yito, or Jito, I don't know. I wanted to create an emotional world that would not only support the narrative and action beats of the game, but I hope it also completely draws the player into the heart and soul of Jin's emotional journey. So here, this is the Taiko Ensemble, their little band, I'm assuming, that their little setup that they got going on there. As for his catalog of work is too immense to list, but some of his scores include House of Flying Daggers, True Legend, and The Grandmaster. What we continually got when pulling from his past scores was a sense of place. His music helped transport us back in time and halfway across the globe. It was truly magical, and we knew that we really wanted to help him craft the sonic landscape of our world. He asked to start sketching some themes focusing on the natural beauty of the world we were building. He really dug into the emotional arc of the world and developed a suite of themes based on some key words which were representative of the gamut Jim would experience: serenity, occupation, exile, haunting, and sanctuary. And then, of course, to share a little bit more about how he appreciated the themes of the open world, this is him talking. I was born in that city, which is physically close to the island of Tsushima. However, I never have been there personally and was not very familiar with the history of Tsushima before working on this game. Having joined this project, I think it would be a great opportunity to visit. When I was composing music for the game, I was inspired by Japan's culture, climate. Oh, sorry, I said culture. By Japan's nature, climate, traditional lifestyle, classical Japanese music. My compositions feature various Japanese instruments, including that and Japanese taiko, but the instruments are nothing without the players. For me, I view musicians as crucial avatars of myself and materialize the music that I envision and want to tell, delivering it to the listeners. Without this collaboration, I would merely be a street musician who nobody listens to. When listeners hear the music for the game, I hope that they feel the hearts of the people of Tsushima, those who love the land living and plowing with natural bounties it offers, and those of the warriors who take their katanas and follow the way of the samurai. So then here, oh, we can't actually click this one, is another image behind the studio in the mixing room, if you will. Recording was a truly global undertaking, combining input from the composers. Sucker Punch and PlayStation's internal music department, we recorded strings and brass in London at Abbey Road and Air Studios, in addition to soloists and traditional Japanese instruments like koto and that one. We recorded additional solo traditional instruments, including shamisen, percussion, and that one in Taiko Ensemble in Tokyo, as well as Buddhist monks from the temples who provided chanting for the score in Los Angeles. We were fortunate enough to enlist the talents of famed musician to record Mongolian chants and traditional instruments, and Dr. That Guy helped us with recording even more Japanese solo instruments, including biwa. And then this is the shamisen that you can see here. Interesting little instrument. The last steps were for our wizards on the music team to take the score, deconstruct it into layered chunks, which they then implemented into our music system to handle playback in-game based on player action, difficulty, and intensity. The end result is a powerful, evocative score that brings to life the world of 13th century Tsushima and Jin's difficult path from samurai to ghost. Check out the short excerpts below. I really look forward to bringing you the rest of the score in the game on July 17th. So these are the different tracks you can listen to, and for copyright reasons, I'm not going to play these. I will have a link down below in the description where you can go to hear and listen to it yourself. The official game soundtrack will be released by Milan Records on July 17th on all digital platforms, and as a 2 CD set you can pre-order here, and all pre-orders of the digital soundtrack include an instant download of the track, The Way of the Ghost, Vinyl edition will be coming in the future. Thank you for reading and listening. We hope to share more exciting details about the sound of Ghost of Tsushima in the future. So, this is the latest news um, in terms of anything related to this game. I mean, the game comes out in 13 days, I believe. Um, 14. Yeah, 14 days. 2 weeks. I literally cannot wait. I'm excited to see where this game takes us. I'm also nervous because of the pandemic that's going on. I have no idea, mail wise. I mean, on PlayStation, on your order or whatever, if you've already pre ordered the game, if you ordered a physical edition um, from the PlayStation Store itself, it says that it will be on there on release day, but I have no idea how that's going to be affected by the pandemic. So, recording wise, for me, I'm hoping that I will get it on the day of and not after. I would prefer it to be before, but who knows. If I do end up getting it after, I'll contact PlayStation and hopefully I can get a game code and start playing the game immediately. If not, I will keep you guys updated. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.